A lot of people, again, because they can't get to their homes, are wanting to know what it looks like.
This is actually the Bob Sykes Bridge. As you can see, right at the foot of the bridge on the Gulf Breeze side, there is a gaping hole caused, of course, by Hurricane Ivan. This is right outside, right off the Bob Sykes Bridge, near the Sun Chase apartments. Debris, cars, everything just scattered throughout the area. A propane tank from the beach was right there across the street from that apartment. As you can see, windows blown out and a lot of damage there. Here is a couple of the houses in the Gulf Breeze area. As you can see, a lot of debris, a lot of trees scattered. Flooding, those near in the low-lying areas on the Gulf are basically in the Gulf now. A lot of flooding. Luckily, a lot of those houses are elevated. This is the Am South Bank in Gulf Breeze, completely destroyed. Apparently a sign went through there and the winds got in and just blew it apart.
Unbelievable. Channel 3's Sarah Baumgardner is in the newsroom with those details. Sarah?
Well, Sue, what we're hearing right now is that there's a search and rescue and a search and recovery underway at the Grand Lagoon subdivision. That subdivision is located off Gulf Beach Highway near Bower Road. We saw a convoy of trucks headed to the Grand Lagoon area. About 10 trucks, including a collapse unit, rescue unit, mass casualty unit from Hillsborough County, and search and rescue crews from Tampa, as well as Escambia Search and Rescue.
Looking at the pictures now that Michael Loff and Lisa Vale brought back from Grand Lagoon, where they have a number of victims have been recovered so far, but the search is not nearly complete, and some of the utter devastation of some of the homes there. I fail to recall how many victims have been pulled from this subdivision. I think Lisa said 2, but for our radio viewers, you're looking at some homes that were in some spectacular areas that are reduced to splinters, where pilings have the foundation of wood for a home and nothing above it, and that's in several locations as we're looking past them, through them actually, at water. While home stands, 3 or 4 more next to it do not. Another one stands and 3 or 4 more next to them do not.
Of course, 2 bodies were recovered from homes, Bob, but then they had 2 others, a male and a female, that were recovered from the water.
That's right. And actually, a retired sheriff's deputy, in one of the more amazing stories, and there always seems to be an amazing story in amazing events like this, sheriff's deputy, he was recovered in the rubble of his home today and brought back to the hospital, and we'll have an update on his condition, but apparently he's doing okay. He was conscious when they found him. The name escapes me right now, and I haven't written it down, but our thoughts go out to him, and what a harrowing time in his life. Looking at some of the inland flooding now in other parts of Grand Lagoon, where some of the houses did withstand the pounding. A golf cart,
a lazy boy,
completely out of place.
And as people start picking
effects.
up this trash, one of the easiest things, I think, is to burn. And there's a lot of burning, we understand, going on out there. You were asked, encouraged, told to not burn. Consider this, if a fire starts, there's no water.
It's crazy. It can lead to another disaster. But some of these scenes here with the personal effects just strewn like a landfill in an area that was a posh and comfortable, luxurious area of southwest Escambia County, it looks like a landfill with some of the shots that Michael took.
Bob, that deputy who was rescued out there, retired Deputy Richard Lowry is his name.
Richard, congratulations. What a story you have to tell, and you've made it through the hard part, and I hope you're resting comfortably and well, and I cannot imagine looking at a partial construction of a new home that seems to have done well. What do you see, Alan?
Well, still some of those markings that Lisa was talking about, how once they search the home, they will put the spray paint to telling who came by to do the search, what they discovered.
If there's a hazard. Yeah, some pretty good information. They have some internal codes there, but looking at what was once
a pier with that doesn't look like a home there, though.
And there are a lot of people in here who are part of this, what's called the Urban Rescue Team. They're the first ones in a disaster like this. On the ground here in Escambia County, we had first on the ground 8 teams of 70 people each and 4 K-9 units, and there were more people coming in. We understand many of them are sleeping out there on the beach so that they can just go in shifts and keep the search up. I mean, and they're having to go through an awful lot of debris. Every single home, every unit out there, they've got to search.
It's a job I couldn't even consider myself doing. It's got to be tough. Hoping, you're looking for victims and casualties, and it's got to be terrible when you find one. Continuing to look at Grand Lagoon, if you're joining us on the radio, you wouldn't like what you would see if you were watching us on TV. Utter destruction, a home here and there, personal effects just clinging to bushes and shrubs.
And it seems like the homes that were hit, Bob, are just gone. There was no half.
You're absolutely right.
Here.
I mean, here you put these pilings there and put the home up on top of the pilings so that the water goes underneath the home. There are the pilings and the home is gone.
Yeah.
Probably most of that wind damage would be my guess from what I'm looking at.
But you're right, it seems to be all or nothing. Of course, there are some homes that are standing, and the ones that we do see that look intact probably have suffered some damage, but it does appear, as we're looking at the sites of former homes, and there's nothing there.
Nothing, nothing.
You can kind of tell there was a home there, but there's nothing structurally to tell you, to indicate that, except the debris from personal effects and clothes.
And that one, there was a driveway, but I didn't even see a foundation there.
Some of the homes, obviously, that are not on stilts. Here's one that's standing, a couple that are standing, but you can almost see right through.
Everything's blown out.
What's perhaps a living room or garage, as everything inside has been blown out. This home seems to be a brick home, beautiful home at that, a shell. The garage door tilted at an awkward angle. Carpets, rugs, crates,
Washing
toys.
machines, dryers.
While that sounds redundant for the people who are watching on television, we're trying to accommodate the folks who do not have TV and are listening to us on the radio. So at the risk of being redundant with our comments, we apologize. But a kayak, too.
Again, this being the area that was seeing the east side of the center of Hurricane Ivan, and where you always expect the worst damage, and it took a little bit of a jog to the right, to the east, and ended up heading toward bringing that most serious part of the storm toward Perdido Key and toward the Grand Lagoon.